What's going on everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be reviewing this scooter. This is the G-Cycle L8 Pro, and we're gonna be comparing it with the Ninebot ES2 that I have right here. And we're gonna see if this is really worth it. We'll be starting with a quick unboxing, then we will be having a look at the specs of this scooter, and then we will do a quick comparison with the ES2 on real life scenarios. Let's start with a quick unboxing as usual. As you can see, the G-Cycle is well protected. And here we have an M4X wrench included, since the scooter comes partially disassembled. Included in the box we have a user manual in English language only, the battery charger with 42 volts of output, and you see here I have the European plug. Here we see a detail of the folding latch. It's very easy to lock the stem, as you can see. You can get it on the G-Cycle website for $499 but there is also a coupon code of 100 USD. Now what we need to do is simply to insert the handlebar into the stem. We see we have two M5 screws and there is also an extra one provided. This is the main power cable which is connecting the handlebar and the controls to the rest of the scooter. So I start by threading the cable through the scooter stem so that I can bring the handlebar closer to the stem. Once the holes of the handlebar and the stem are aligned, I start tightening the M5 screws. We see here we have a thread locker already applied. I'll then remove the film from the display and we are ready to turn it on. You simply need to keep pressing the button for about 2 seconds. While pressing it twice will turn the lights on. Turn signals are activated by a single press of the corresponding button. You will also hear a beep confirming the selection, and you can turn it off by simply pressing the button again. It comes with a bell, very easy to reach and use. We have a solid cabin hanger, which is stronger and bigger than the one we see on the Ninebot ES2. Here on the right we have the throttle, and on the left the drum brake. I remind you, we have a triple braking system on the scooter, so the drum brake, the regenerative EABS and the foot friction brake. Here on the deck we see we have this very cool honeycomb pattern, while at the front we see the drum brake and the solid 8-inch honeycomb tires. Next we see a solid and durable kickstand and the charging port. As always, it is suggested to do a full charge before the first use. Here you can see the jack of my battery charger. You will see a red LED on the battery charger during the charging process, but unfortunately there is no indication on the display on the percentage or progress of the charge, which is something we have on the Ninebot ES2 instead. Since the L8 Pro has a 281 Wh battery, it will require about 5 hours for a full charge. G-Cycle doesn't recommend you to charge it overnight, since overcharge or undercharge may affect the battery life in the long term. After a full charge we are ready to test this guy, but let's have a look at the rest of the specs first, and also how it compares with the Ninebot ES2 we have right here. At the front we have a front shock absorption. It's similar to the one on the Ninebot, but seems to do a better job. Unfortunately, the missing one at the back is quite noticeable. In fact, the Ninebot has a more comfortable ride on dirt tracks thanks to the rear shock absorber. The folding mechanism is quite fast and easy on both products, so I wouldn't be able to pick a preference here. The display is really essential, there is no color and only shows the riding mode, current speed, battery level, speed unit, light and turn indicators. On the Ninebot ES2 we have more or less the same stuff except for the turn indicators, but it's a color display. Something I have to say is that I was not able to set the speed unit nor the cruise control on this scooter. If you look at the manual, quickly pressing the power button 4 times should activate the cruise control, while pressing it 3 times should change the speed unit. unit. After hearing from G-Cycle, they told me that in order to enter the menu, the power button has to be pressed for 8 times, but also in this case it didn't work, as you can see from my videos. I was then told that the batch I received doesn't provide possibility to access to the menu, so please check your unit when you receive it. On the handlebar of the L8 Pro, as we said, we have the turn indicators and the drum brake, which are both missing on the Ninebot ES2, which has only the throttle and the electric brake. In this detail I'm showing the hook, and the difference with the one on the ES2 is quite visible. The one on the L8 Pro is much bigger and more solid. The ES2 has 8 inches solid tires, while on the L8 Pro we have those cool 8-inch honeycomb tires, which are supposed to provide good shock absorption capacity, but they seem to me quite rigid. The battery is below the deck, and it's a 281 Wh battery, while the Ninebot ES2 has just 187 Wh. Now let's recap the specs. Here I have highlighted in yellow where the L8 Pro shines compared with the Ninebot ES2. The major difference is obviously the more powerful motor with the 500 watts, the higher battery capacity and the triple brake, while the Ninebot ES2 wins with the dual suspension, the possibility to connect the scooter to the phone via app, and the RGB LED at the bottom of the scooter, which in my opinion are pretty cool. We have seen how the folding mechanism is quick and easy to use. The scooter is not heavy at all. As we saw, it's about the same weight as the ES2, so portability is not an issue here. And here you're looking at some footage I took with the scooter. The acceleration is incredible in Mode 3. So much better than the ES2. Here are a couple of examples where you can see how faster the L8 Pro is compared with the ES2. There is much less noise driving the L8 Pro compared with the ES2. This is also due to the higher build quality. In fact, the L8 Pro feels more professional, more stable and sturdy. The only downside is the absence of the rear shock absorber, which increases vibration especially on uneven ground. As for the build quality, I immediately recognized the better quality of the L8 Pro as soon as I got it out from the box. It's made of premium materials and it feels very solid also when riding it, while the Ninebot ES2 feels as a toy most of the times.
Fai il massimo.
We have a very good range with the L8 Pro. We can do about 18.6 miles, which is about 30 kilometers. In my test in Mode 3, I was just a bit below that. And that's all for this video. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about this scooter and if you like it compared with the ES2. I'll be doing some additional tests with this scooter, but I think in this video you already find a good recap of my impressions of it. Also leave me a like if you like this video and subscribe to the channel in order to support me.
See you in the next one.